You're learning economics?
Yeah.
What year are you in?
2.
And you don't know definition, like what capitalism is? Is this a hate crime?
I would consider it a hate crime.
What is being trans? What is it? Tell me what the definition. What if it's not mental illness? What is it?
So you have to categorise.
Just answer the question.
No, you
answer the question. If it's not a mental illness, what is it? You're based. I know you are. You just can't say it.
This is currently doing demonstrations about how trans equals mental illness, and they have brought their flags that represent.
They're basically reporting that they're feeling offended by...
Is that a crime?
Well, technically, yeah. Transgender causes mental illness, okay?
The transgender is mental illness, yeah.
Therefore, we're going to have to record what's called the Public Order Section 5.
Yeah.
And under that, we are going to have to seize the flags.
Utterly insane. What's your name?
Max.
Over to me, Max.
Nice to meet you.
So, just to stand in line, that would be great, thank you. So, do you go to this university?
Yes.
So my perspective is that basically, university as it is now, it's changed a lot. It's not a place of learning. It's a place where the government and the state have the ability to influence and basically give you political opinions and ideas. Should I give you a perfect example?
Yeah.
So all of the trans stuff,
Okay.
there's like 2 genders. There's only 2. Or there's 2 sexes, I should say. They say there's like 100 genders. That's not true, but they teach it and they explain. And I don't know about this specific university, but in general, universities teach crazy things now. So I think, do you understand what I mean by indoctrination?
Yeah. But then who's teaching those things?
The lecturers, no? I've had this, so I know that it definitely happens.
I study economics, so we don't really talk too much about LGBTQ.
That's good.
Yeah,
no, that's good.
Yeah.
So in economics, I'd love to know the answer to this. I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do they teach you like capitalism versus, socialism?
Yeah.
And what's the lecturer's perspective on capitalism?
We did it in one of our last year. We did a bit of a development of economic thought. They say every uni in the country that teaches economics does it, I think.
Okay.
They said. Maybe, I think. But a lot of them do, at least, yeah. And so we'll do a bit of Karl Marx and then a bit of Keynes and just a bit of views on wealth and all things like that.
Yeah. What are the students' opinions on capitalism?
I wouldn't be able to say, really.
What's your opinion on capitalism?
I don't know. Do we have capitalism here? Yeah. How do you define it? I don't know the exact definition.
But you're learning economics.
Yeah.
What year are you in?
2.
And you don't know definition, like what capitalism is?
I could say my brief thing, but I don't know if it's correct.
That's all right. Give it a go. Like
capitalism, basically, it's like a player versus player. Of it.
Yeah, so basically it's basically allowing business to be as free as possible, as little red tape and competitive markets.
Okay.
So if I had a pub there, and then somebody had a pub there, and my price of beer was £5 and their price of beer was £4, I would do everything because they would take more business from me. I would get better quality products and a cheaper rate.
Alright, so saying not much government intervention.
There's little government intervention, if not none, when it comes to a free market. Now, I'm of the state education. I also think I'm a great believer in homeschooling and private or public school. But public school is really expensive because we have state education, which is rubbish.
I personally went to a private school.
Okay. In private school, what did they teach you about British history? Did they teach that British history is good or bad?
We learned about the Germans, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And maybe the Russians. Don't really learn about the British Empire too much. Mm-hmm. So in English we actually did. We went a bit off the tracks. Not everyone did it, but we did about the English, British Empire in Africa, and about pretty much the effects that it had.
Did they teach that actually it was England that ended the slave trade?
I wouldn't be able to say yes.
That's interesting. Basically, state education as it is, universities, the school system is just indoctrination. The stuff that young people are getting taught is mental. Like the fact that 4-year-olds are being taught that they can be whatever gender they want is insane. The fact that there's no debate. So I don't mind things being taught which are kind of crazy. So for example, man-made climate change, I think is a load of horseshit. But I don't mind that being taught on the condition that they show the counter evidence to it. That makes sense. So different theories, and I just feel like the education system as it is doesn't teach different ideas. It doesn't debate. Do you go to the university? Is that?
I teach here.
You teach here, so you're a lecturer, right? Cool. So I've had lecturers and I've had teachers who are completely underqualified and complete failures at their job. My history teacher, for example, just to give you off the cuff example, my history teacher didn't even know who Oswald Mosley was, and that's just mental.
Everyone has gaps in their
Oh, come on. How can you be a history teacher and not know about Oswald Mosley?
Is he actually?
What? He's like one of the... She was teaching me Hitler's rise to power and she didn't know who the most prolific British fascist was. Oswald Mosley.
Him.
Oswald Mosley.
Hall was the one in Germany doing the broadcast, but Mosley was locked up because he was leader of the BUF, the British Union of Fascists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went to Hitler's wedding, famously. My point being, like I think...
So what was your actual ultimate level of education?
Oh, I got kicked out of uni because I said there are only two genders, and I don't believe in gender. I said there's a man and a woman, and they kicked me out. Well, they strong-armed me out. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse.
How long ago was that?
Good question. The reason I'm asking you these questions is I don't know about private as much because it's private, and the whole point of private education is your parents, when you went there, can look at the curriculum and decide whether or not they want to pay to send you there. Whereas with state education, you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Everyone gets taught the same government pushed ideas and system.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right. I think as individuals, we should have the ability to choose what our children are taught.
Yeah.
So when children are being sent to school and they're being taught, some of them as young as 4 years old, that they can identify as whatever gender they want, that is insane, and that shouldn't be allowed. And that is what state education is. So the point I'm making on this banner is, and I'm saying state education is indoctrination, is the lecturers and the students that are inside government education are being used and taught what the government wants them to hear about and wants them to know about. And the education system is used to push narratives on young people which are complete bullshit, I've got to say. So they teach there's multiple genders. They teach that colonisation and the entire British Empire is really, really, really bad.
Don't really mention it too much.
I'm telling you, in state education they do.
They
So
do,
you went to
they
private,
do
I can tell you
mention
that is what they teach, yes. I was taught the same thing, so many other children are taught the same thing.
What do they say about it then?
They say that basically, like, with they don't. So they'll talk about the slave trade, but they'll only talk about how Britain was involved in it, which we were, which I don't think is right, and I don't think is good.
Oh yeah, in history we did the triangle actually.
Yeah, I know the triangle. Yeah, but what they don't teach you is it was England that ended the slave trade, and it was Africa that started the slave trade. They never teach you that, and I just think that's really, really important. But that's never mentioned.
To show that England weren't like.
Well, it makes us look very bad, doesn't it? And it makes us.
But then why would the government push a narrative to make their own country look bad?
That's a great question. I think huge amounts of it is a genuine corrupt. And have you ever heard the term woke? Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah.
It is genuinely just corrupt woke ideology that they have been captured and like socialism.
Yeah.
Left. Don't worry. If you need to go, just let me know anytime.
Go on about 5. I've got
No worries. So corrupt left-wing socialism and these sort of progressive ideas that we all need to atone for our history, like with Black Lives Matter, where they were turning around and saying basically white people are bad, black people are good, and we oppress black people all the time. These are things that they are pushing on people, and it comes from very, very, very wealthy people, left-wing wealthy people. My lecturers taught me, because I'm white, therefore I'm privileged. Why? Why was I taught that? I was studying photography.
Okay.
Why was I taught that?
Don't know.
No. Well, I would say that it's this sort of culture that has got a grip on education from primary school even all the way up until university, which teaches for some reason that we have to be ashamed of our history and that because we're white that somehow makes us bad. Well, I've been told that, so I think
you can assume that generally speaking that people are white maybe are more privileged.
Why?
Not always though.
Never. Name one thing that I can do. I can do that somebody who's black or mixed race can't do. Right. So how have I got any privilege? Do you know Morgan Freeman? Have you ever heard of Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
Very famous. Yeah, very famous actor, black guy. He turns around and says, "How do you stop racism?" And he was like, "Just stop talking about it. Stop mentioning it. Stop treating people like based on the fact that they're white, black, brown, pink, blue, whatever. I don't care. We should just see each other as people, and that's what I think."
Yeah, but that's true. But then if you look around here to I don't know, Arabic-looking guys or Muslim-looking guys, we got a few like Asian looking. I don't want to be too racist, but like classify people. A bit Asian looking there. White people hanging out with the white people.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, it's obviously mixed.
Yeah, I do think that my perspective is I do think it's going too far. So I am in favour of deporting all illegal migrants that are here, and I'm also in favour of encouraging people who live here that aren't British to go back to the country that they came from. I do think we should encourage that, because it's like Britain is losing its identity as a country.
What is Britain's identity?
Great question. I think that to be British is to have a lineage and an ancestry and a history and a continuity where ideas, values, faith, like Christian faith, etc., have been passed down generation after generation after generation after generation after generation. I think that's really, really important. That's very valuable. But it's a bit like, if I said to you, if I said to you, I'm going to go and move to, I don't know, let's say China.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I married an English woman in China.
Yeah.
And then I had a child with that woman in China, and my child didn't speak Chinese. I didn't speak Chinese. My wife didn't speak Chinese. But they gave me a passport that said, You're Chinese. Am I Chinese?
You've got the passport.
Yeah, but am I Chinese? Think about it. You don't have to answer, but...
Yeah, but it's a good question.
Careful, really.
Right, so the kind of culture going up, but then has it not, because I did see something on this online, but Britain's been quite, people have come in like the Tudors, or I don't know, the people, Vikings
so we went historically, Britain, I mean, I'm not going to go into granular detail, but the rough idea. So we had the Celts originally, and then we had Romans, and then the Roman Empire sort of died, right? And then the Romans withdrew, and then there were a few Celts and a few Romans, but really not, Britain was a very different space. And then the Anglos came, this is about 1,500 years ago, 1,500 years ago. The Anglos came and took over Britain. I would say that to be British is to have continuity that goes back to Anglo-Saxon times.
Okay.
And to have that continuity generation to generation to generation. Now, obviously, we've had other cultures come over to this country over time.
Yeah.
But I think too much. We've had way too much migration. Millions of people have come into our country, and I think that we are within 50 years we're going to be a minority in our own country, and I do think that's problematic. It's like if we all started going over to Jamaica, all right, and loads of English people were getting on a plane going to Jamaica and then getting Jamaican passports, all the Jamaicans would say, hang on a minute, what's going on? We're going to be a minority in our own country. So it's not a racism thing. I can care.
Just going, the culture's fading. You're thinking
the culture's fading. So the very fact that people have to say, what is it to be British, is kind of sad. We should just know what it is to be British.
Know our history.
We should know. It shouldn't be like, oh, we're going to have a cup of tea and we're going to be polite, and that's about it really. And we'll have some fish and chips. It's like, I think that's a real insulting description of what it is to be British,
Yeah, so you're kind of doing the set of values down of what it actually is to be British.
I think that if you just reduce Britain down to a set of values, then that's not enough. We were taught that's a very modern thing. Like to just be like for British people to just be a set of values, I think is not enough. It is lineage, it is ancestry, and it is saying that we have a history in this country that dates back, at least 1,500 years back to Anglos. And I feel like if we don't have that substance and we can't say that doesn't make me racist. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then what if someone came like 1,000 years ago, the family's been here?
They would have integrated and married in. So I think marriage is really important. So let's say somebody from Bangladesh moved here and they married an English woman. Then in the same way, if you got married to a woman and she had a brother, her brother would be your brother through marriage. Same thing. So if a Bangladeshi man or woman came over and married, they would be, honorary part of our country. But I think my opinion is we should close the border immediately. We should deport all the illegal migrants, and we should encourage as many people to go back to their original homeland as much as possible and reclaim our country and nation. And that's becoming quite a mainstream thing to say, really. And that's not because I'm racist or I dislike black people, but I don't care less.
Yeah.
It's more that I love my country, my history, my lineage, and I want to protect it. And I think any country. I think any country that wants to do that is well within their right to do it. Whether you're Iceland, Russia, Ukraine, Jamaica, China, I don't care. You have the right to your own culture, lineage, and ancestry.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Do they teach this in university?
Lots of reasons: socio-economical, money, history, loads of things. Not exposed to racist on a daily basis would be one, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exposed to racists on a daily basis.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you see, his
don't really
friend,
believe that,
the partner,
really.
he is a mixed race, guys. Hello. And they don't dispute it because...
We don't talk about colour, we don't care. See, this is the
Unless
point.
it's really sunny, in which case he's going to burn and I'm going to be just fine.
Funding, have you ever heard of BlackRock?
yeah.
So BlackRock fund private companies to promote all the LGBT stuff.
Why? Just because they want it.
It depends how conspiratorial you want to go, my friend, right? So one, because they just believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they genuinely believe there's multiple gender, all the LGBT stuff, they genuinely just believe it. And two, because I think there is a genuine sinister agenda to attack our country, because people hate Britain. People hate the people of Britain. One of your lecturers just come and speak to me recently.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to me, he told me I had white privilege.
What ethnicity was this guy?
He was white as well.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, name one thing a black guy can't do that I can do. Can you name anything?
I think a black guy can't do that you can do. You might have an easier time going to a black people's society if there's that type of thing.
Well, I'll tell you something. I hang around well, that's Will. We don't have any issues. I hang around black people all the time. None of them feel that they are oppressed in any way. But it seems that it's actually white people that feel guilty about their own history. Do you know what I mean? And that's because in the education system they're teaching us to feel guilty about history rather than be proud of our history, be proud of what Britain is.
Yeah, but come on, the empire wasn't.
It
was quite. They were doing quite.
Lots of bad things happened, but also lots of very good things happened too. So in countries where they were committing atrocities to one another, we went over and said, no, we don't do that in England, and we civilized much of the world. So there were people were killing each other over in India.
Do you know what happened in India?
Tell me.
I
do, but
what would you say that happened?
Indians were slaughtering each other before the British Empire went over. Absolutely slaughtering each other. And we went over. Then they used to burn the horrific things My friend Will was telling me exactly about that, and we came over.
Well, we were getting rid of that before the English came. The Sikhs were, but then the English came over. Yeah, and then they was trying to reform the country.
Do you think that's good or bad? I don't care if whatever you say.
And about the British Empire it had a lot of devastating effects.
Okay.
Lots of them, and tons. Especially, you've got not just the partitioning at the end, just disrupting the whole country, and you've got rapes going on, you've got murders going on, you've got trying to destroy all of the other religions. Yeah. Really. So there was quite a lot of that going on.
I'm not here to say that the entire British Empire was an amazing thing and loads of we were perfect. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But what I am saying is the idea that everything was bad and we did nothing good, which is definitely problematic. And we went over to India and we did civilise much of India, and we did contribute a lot. We contributed railways. We contributed a set of ideals and respect and culture, which, if you don't want it, I would say it's quite cool. It's quite good, and I know a lot of Indians actually that have a lot of respect and love for
the empire.
Not for the empire, for Britain. Just for Britain in general, right? And I just find it interesting that within the education system, that's not discussed. I don't get it. Why?
Both sides. Then there's not both sides.
Not both sides. And that can only mean one thing, that there is a political agenda to beat down our history and to belittle what it is to be British, and make us atone, all these left-wing progressive socialists, much of which are within university, feel like that we have to atone for our history, atone for the colour of our skin. And if you ask me, that causes more division. And I can't speak because I don't know every uni, so every uni's different. I don't know, what's this uni like?
Wait till you go to Brighton, mate. That's.
We've been to Brighton.
We've done Brighton
How was
before.
that? No, be honest.
I went with this sign to Brighton.
Yeah, imagine that.
It's one of my favourite videos actually.
Really?
They're lovely.
Are you on YouTube?
They were very welcoming. They said to me, I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, right.
And they said because I'm white and straight, that is a problem.
And this bloke in a dress, and he went, you need to fuck off, this is a place of love, you got to fuck off.
And then he called me gay, and which is
So
mad.
that's just.
Yeah, it's a bit mental. Yeah,
That's
hey guys,
insane.
how you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Wrong part. Oh shit. Right.
Good mate.
Yeah, no,
That's
this is-
awkward.
It's
Anyway.
brilliant.
What do you guys think of this?
Come on.
What do we think of this? If I'm honest, it's like, do what you want, I don't care. Like, genuinely.
I agree with that.
It's you know, I personally wouldn't, but that's me. Someone else can do whatever the fuck they want. If it stops them from killing themselves, do it.
May I ask? Because I think we're.
Do you know what I mean?
No, but I think it's a fair. Like, I'm of the same opinion. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to call yourself Penelope, and even though your
Yeah.
name's Steve, that's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Yeah.
It's the problem comes when you start saying, "You've got to call me this. You've
Yeah.
got to say I'm a woman," when actually that person is a man.
Yeah.
Or when they start saying we're going to go into women's spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got men. I had a trans person earlier tell me, they said they're willing to run the risk of men going into women's spaces and potentially raping women on the condition that a man who says he's a woman is a woman. And I said, this is insane. This is insane. Like, imagine your daughter. I know you probably don't have a daughter. Maybe you do. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you do, congratulations. I recommend you have lots of children, or children better. But you wouldn't want your daughter in a changing room with like some big hairy man coming in and being like, "Hi, I'm Penelope. I'm going to use this space," and that's what they were advocating for. And I think that's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. You agree? You're based. I know you are.
But,
You just can't say it.
It's-
You're based. You can say it. It's fine.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy.
I'm not going to say it.
Exactly. You've
Yeah.
got to say it on
Like-
camera.
like,
So many people
on camera. Where's this going?
Freedom Watch. So
You see at the bottom.
GB on everything.
Hello,
Hello. Lovely to meet you.
James.
Lovely to meet you, James.
We are spectators.
I believe I can't agree with you in this point.
You can't?
No,
Okay. Why not?
because they might be different from us. They might were born in that form,
Yeah.
but they can choose what they believe, and they can actually change to what they want.
But that's okay.
What's
but
your name, if you don't mind me
my
asking?
name's Monty.
Nice to meet you.
Love you. And
May
I-
I say something?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Nice quote.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a lovely day, ladies.
go for it.
So if you want to identify it as what you want, you go for it. But you can't tell me that I have to recognise.
No, you
that.
don't.
So
It's up to you.
If you want to
But
say
if
you're a
you-
woman,
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're a man.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you can't force me to say otherwise. And
Perfect.
And I would also say that just
At the
because
same time, you don't have you cannot just tell anyone they're mentally ill based on
no,
what
that's
they
a
want
fact. If you are, okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Would you tell an anorexic person that they shouldn't eat?
to. No,
Why?
because they should eat, but at the same time,
Yeah.
at the same time, anorexia is a clinically diagnosed disease.
So the World
It's
Health
not the
Organization recognized in 2019 that gender dysphoria is a mental illness.
Do you believe everything World Health
No,
Organization
I
says?
certainly do not believe
Do you
everything the
believe
World Health Organization
that
says.
COVID entire thing was not a fiasco by World Health
This guy's half base. He just said, this guy's amazing. What-
Do you believe
I think the whole COVID thing is mental.
Then how do you believe WHO?
No, I say the same thing to you. If you believe that the COVID thing was mental, then how can you believe that
I
being
asked the
trans is
same
not
question.
mentally
You
ill?
are saying COVID thing wasn't mental, and then you are saying that
That's
you
incredible.
believe WHO on.
Okay, do you know what? Do you know what?
You've
You've got me. You've got me. No, I will hold my hands up. You are right, because you are absolutely right. The WHO is completely corrupt.
Yeah, let's move it aside.
So let's put it to side.
Yes.
No problem. The reason I use that example is because I know in general that it is a mental illness, and for people who do trust the WHO, it's a great example to put forward.
Do you know what used to happen during early 20th century when people used to diagnose troubled women with mental illnesses? I hope you know about John F. Kennedy's sister.
But
and how they diagnosed with her of being a retard. I'm using the word as they used it because she was a bit too extreme, and they ended up lobotomizing her because they thought it was a mental illness.
If I say to you, I won't use the anorexia argument. If I say to you that I've only got one leg, and I want to cut my leg off, am I mentally ill?
Do you believe you're mentally ill?
No, it's not whether I believe it, because that's not how clinically it works.
Listen, I would say you kind of got me there, because when you cut your feet, you're harming yourself. Not only you're harming yourself, you're harming others at the same time.
Cool.
Because the people that depend on you are getting harmed at the same time.
Okay.
But what you do to your body, I believe that should be your choice, including assisted death, including what you do to your body. Even if it ends up harming you, you are owner of your body. You choose what happens in that.
So if I am a man,
I hope I'm not being judgmental here.
I don't mind if you are, but I understand it's not a problem.
I'm just trying to be honest here.
That's absolutely fine. Be as honest as you'd like. I'll never be offended. So if I turn around and say let's say I'm 17 years old, and I turn around and say I'm a woman, and I want to cut my penis off, am I mentally ill?
No, you're not.
What is the difference between that and me saying I want to cut my leg off?
Because before the age of 18, when you're choosing to...
okay, let's say 19 then.
Actually, 19.
Whatever age, I don't care what age, I just use it as an example.
Let's just say you can take your decisions and you are at an age where you have the chance, or not even the chance, you can do what you want to your body.
Okay.
If you do it, and at the same time you're not harming people around you, why should I care? Why should I care?
Because I would hope that if I turn around to you and said...
May I ask you something? Are you a Christian?
Of course you can. I am a Christian.
May I ask you another question?
Are you a Christian?
I do go to church. I'm a Christian agnostic. I believe in Trinity. I believe in God. But may I ask? So,
of course.
As a Christian, would you consider me, who believes in some other religions at the same time, believe, let's just say, who does not believe in Trinity, or who does not believe in Christianity, would you consider that to be a problem?
I wouldn't say, I would encourage you, of course, as a Christian, I would encourage you to come to Christ, but I wouldn't consider it a problem. Am
I mentally ill to not choose Jesus?
Of course you're not. There's a big difference between that and cutting my leg or penis off.
Are you...
All right, sorry. Sorry, apologies. Carry on.
I have a meeting, but I'll
no
try
problem.
to finish it up soon.
I won't talk.
No, it's fine. I'm just...
Have a lovely day, madam.
Hold up.
Have a lovely... We're having a nice conversation, you're interrupting.
If I'm being... not being a Christian, if being bothering to you, or if not bothering you, why should me choosing my gender, which I also have right on, would bother you in
No, it doesn't. It doesn't bother me.
Then
what bothers me is, I said at the beginning of this conversation, look, if you want to go and identify as a woman, that's fine. Go and identify as a woman. If you want me to call you,
I agree with you. Actually,
that's fine.
I agree with you.
However, there are some caveats. But there's some very important caveats. I know you've got to go, so I'll just say this: if you want to identify as a woman, you go for it. If you want to cut off your penis past the age of 18. With informed consent, which I don't think is ever given, but if you are given full informed consent of the repercussions that's going to have, and you've gone through full trials and gone through the entire process, and you want to cut off your penis, I wouldn't recommend it, and I would say you shouldn't do it, but I can't stop you, and I wouldn't recommend any surgeon go and do it either.
And I appreciate you talking there. That if you are able to take your choices,
but hang on, I'm always finished. When it comes to children, on the other hand, and we've got children's breasts being cut off because they identify, like teenagers' breasts being cut off because they identify as boys before they've become 18, they can't consent to that in the same way they can't get tattoos or go and buy cigarettes or go and buy alcohol, but they can consent to getting their breasts cut off. That's insane. So I think we need to safeguard children and give them the time of development to at least the age of 18. When they turn 18, if they want to take that road, they should be given full informed consent. and they shouldn't just be going willy-nilly doing things. And I think that we should have proper systems in place within our health system, which I would prefer actually to be private, but nevertheless that's another conversation, with our current structure, which literally breaks down all of the repercussions of this process. And most importantly, we should identify that it is a mental illness/disorder, in the same way we do that with somebody who wants to chop their leg off because they think they only got one leg, in the same way we say that to anorexic people who turn around and say, I don't want to eat because I'm fat. They are all mental illnesses, and we shouldn't be cutting people's legs off and allowing that to happen without full recognition of those facts. So I say, identify as what you want, don't invade women's spaces, have full informed consent, and don't tell me that I have to change my language because of your mental disorder. That's my perspective.
It's a free country. You are allowed to say what you want as long as it does not commit to a hate crime. The declaration of hate crime.
You are so close.
As long as his thing.
Define a hate crime.
Whatever the legal definition at the
if
same
I say,
time is.
I know I don't think this, I want to make
at the same time, I'll be very honest.
Yep.
The definition of hate crime in the UK is quite vague, but there is a definition, and let's just say as upstanding citizens, or for me as a upstanding student or even upstanding teenager, let's just say anyone, should probably follow the laws, the laws of the country.
Is this a hate crime?
I would consider it a hate crime.
I was arrested under the Public Order Act for this sign.
It's a hate crime, and
I was told that this sign causes harassment, alarm and distress, and I was arrested by the Metropolitan Police, and I was banned from the centre of London, Westminster, and I was told I have to live and sleep at my home address.
Ooh.
That is the conditions I was got because I turned around and said that trans is mental illness. Do you think that's right?
Can I just flip the script?
Of course you can.
If someone said that saying transgenderism is a mental illness, of what organisation are you part of, if you don't mind me asking?
Of course you can. So my organisation is at the bottom. I don't know if the ban is hiding because it's folded up slightly. Freedom Watch. Right? Freedom Watch, yeah.
What if I ask what if someone says, I'm not saying that, what if someone says the people who follow Freedom Watch, or let's just say the people who says that are mentally ill and should not...
They've got the right to do that.
They actually don't.
Well, I think they should.
You should not be able
They should have the right to do that.
No, you have right to say it's harassment.
No. This isn't harassment. I'm not harassing anybody.
You're a white person, right?
I'm what, sorry?
You are a white person.
I'm white and Christian, yes.
Yes. And let's just say I, from my stance, say, you know what? You are mentally ill because you follow a made-up God. No, it's not all right.
I don't mind you saying that. Doesn't affect me.
Right.
It is all right.
Not fire it.
If you were coming and knocking on my door and texting me that and spamming my comment section, harassing me constantly, that's fine. But if you came up and said that to me now, sorry. That's not fine.
That's why we kind of have the issue. I believe that you should not be harassed for your race. I believe that you should not be harassed for religion.
No, but harassment isn't hate crime.
You should not be harassed for even, let's just say, your sexuality. Even, but that is a hate crime. If I say that you being a white is a problem, or if I say you being a Christian is a mental illness, that is a hate crime.
I don't care though. It shouldn't be.
You might not care.
It should not be a hate crime. That's so scary.
Okay, we go to that debate.
But can I
go to the complete different debate?
Yeah.
We're going to a debate that why it should be considered a hate crime or not.
Well, I've got another sign. I don't know where it is because I got so many. Wait.
Oh. Hate speech is free speech. Have you ever heard?
Thank you, darling.
Have you ever heard of the fact?
I'm not on your campus, darling. Don't you stress. No worries.
Have you ever heard of the fact that?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You have a lovely day, darling. Love you.
Have you ever heard of the fact that when you let intolerance take hold of your society, bit by bit, it becomes... So, by the way, it's one of the things that I say has been an issue with some of my closest friends and some of my closest people, and they disagree with it, and as they should have right to.
Yeah.
The more you tolerate intolerance, the closer the society gets to ruin.
Look, I wanna.
What happened to Roman Empire? What happened to every single history's biggest empires? Not even just empires. Let's just say societies, Persian society. At the end of it, they started dividing themselves.
my personal experience is more just home into the subject.
Yeah.
Economics is a social science, so we do go into sometimes behaviour and things.
I do think it's crazy though that you study economics, but they haven't broken down what capitalism is yet.
They have.
That is crazy.
No, they have, and they say the thing is they put capitalist on this end and then communism on that end.
Yeah, pretty fair. Yeah, most people in there are communists. Trust me.
But then, if you boil them down, what the two systems are, they're not really two opposite. I'd say they're not like two opposite ends. They are in certain things, but what you've got in a capitalist system like today or Victorian age, because in wealth inequality is rising.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of going backwards a bit.
Yeah. I think wealth inequality is rising because of left-wing socialism. So the idea is we need to tax the rich, Well, imagine a culture, imagine a society where we didn't have loads of people on benefits. The welfare state was tiny.
Yeah.
We deported most of the people that are in this country that are just using our system and not contributing, that are not British. And we don't have loads of institutions that are funded by the state, like state education or like the NHS, and everything went private, and we basically had private companies. And like I discussed earlier about the pub analogy, remember where I said, they'll drive down each other's prices, then we would actually have a more affordable environment. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to be like overnight. That takes a bit of time. But this wealth inequality thing, the more money, it doesn't work. You can't just tax people more and more and more and more and more and more. It never works. Communism has never worked, ever. We live in a capitalistic society, but we have a capitalistic society with a huge amount of left-wing socialism on top of it within government.
So capitalism, again, like if it's done quite well, you'll have a few people controlling most of the wealth.
No.
That's what's happening.
When you say a few people controlling most of the wealth, all right. So for example, me, I'm very pro-capitalist. I've built myself up from nothing. The level of work that I have put into building my organisation, everything I do. If I go and employ someone, I'm going to own the whole company, and I'm going to go and pay someone. Now, if they want to go and build their own company and take those resources and do their own thing, they can go and do that. But if they want to be employed by me, then they have to respect the fact that, I've worked far harder than they have to get to where I am. And these people, it's like, oh, well, they own big businesses. That didn't just come overnight. They worked for that. Elon Musk worked to build Tesla, and then people say we need to tax him loads more. And I'm like, no, the man worked. And if you do that, if you set that culture, that precedent, that's a very dangerous thing to do. Because like Green Party, Zach Polanski and all these people, they want to just tax the rich.
Have you seen Gary's economics?
Yeah, I can't stand him.
Why?
Idiot.
Why?
Can't stand him.
But how?
I actually think
if he's the most profitable trader, he's a lot profitable, and then he knows something. He's doing something
Definitely.
Right. What he says about economics. Once he made a mistake, so he went in with his LSE textbooks.
Okay.
And then so some guy just went, "What are you doing, bro? Don't get rid of the textbooks. Just go and look outside, talk to people. That's how you understand an economy."
Yeah.
And then that's how we started getting these wealth.
Yeah, but so socialists don't believe in charity. So Gary Economics is, if he's so rich, why does he need to be taxed more? Why doesn't he go and start a charity and go and give money to charity?
He's not advocating for people like him to be rich.
No, I'm asking a question. Yeah. He would say that we need to tax the rich. Okay?
Yeah, but by the rich, we're not talking about someone from 5 to 10 million
No,
pounds.
I know. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if he's so worried about the inequality, why doesn't he set up a private charity called, I don't know, Help Britain, let's say?
Okay.
And go and build a charity that gets funding that he puts his own money into and go and help people. Why doesn't he do that? Why does he need the state, the government, to do it instead?
All right. Well, we can address this.
Yeah. But why not? Why doesn't he do it?
Yeah. No. Okay. Let's say
I give to charity.
Let's say he's got about 10 mil.
Okay.
Maybe he's got a bit more. Maybe he's got. But that going around what he said in his things, he quit his job. So maybe he's got 10, 20 mil.
Okay.
You can do a bit of difference with 10, 20 mil. Yeah,
could set up a whole charity for 10, 20 mil.
Yeah, but then
even with 1 mil.
Let's say he wants 10 for the rest. Then he puts in 5 to 10 mil. Yeah, you can do something with that. But if you start a whole cultural movement of the whole changing the whole society, the benefits, what's going to go in is way more than 10, 20 mil. Way more.
No, if he's so focused, he should advocate for rich people like himself, as I do too, to donate to charity,
Yeah.
and he should be doing it too. Possibly he does, I'm not saying he doesn't,
Yeah.
but if Gary Economics is so focused on helping the poor, then Gary Economics can go and set up a charity called Help Britain and employ loads of people to go out fundraising and go and knock on rich people's doors and say, would you like to donate? We want to, and I can guarantee a lot of rich people would be willing to give a lot of money rather than be basically taxed by the state out to the hill so that everything is more expensive. People that put their prices up, we have mass inflation and we rely on the state. It's ridiculous. Gary Economics is essentially offloading responsibility to the state rather than doing it himself. Now he's done a lot in terms of speaking and all these things, but he should go and set up a charity. That's what I think Gary Economics should do.
One charity.
No, if he's so good and so great, one charity, how many more charities? Now let me tell you something else. If the welfare state was smaller and you were paying less tax and everyone around here was paying less tax, how many more charities would be able to be set up? How much more money could be donated? Rather, I have trust in the British people. I think that the British people will look after one another, look after their communities, donate to charities and build something collectively rather than saying the government should do it. And what happens when you say the government's going to do it? They have control, they get the money, and then you basically give them the money and then they go and spend it on things like sending it to foreign wars that we don't want it to go there, and investing it into ridiculous programs like net zero. If we didn't have... Net zero is complete nonsense.
Yeah, but
completely inefficient.
Right, maybe, but the principle behind it, come on, get rid of help the world.
More CO2 the better.
Why?
This is evidence as to why education system is broken.
There's science behind that.
Okay, so 97% of the carbon dioxide that's in the atmosphere isn't emitted by human beings. 3% is emitted by human beings, okay?
Okay, yeah, but, but without this 3% and everything, have you been to India recently? To Delhi?
I have never been to India.
If you go to Delhi, you might even find it hard to breathe. If you went to
No, forget about that, because I think that air pollution needs to be improved.
Yeah. Here, when I come to Liverpool from where I'm from in Manchester, I can tell the air's a bit...
No, forget about the air, okay? I get the air that needs addressing. I'm talking about, in the atmosphere, carbon dioxide is at 0.04%. When it gets to 0.02%, plants start dying, okay? It's true. Prove me wrong. Now, 3% is emitted... I can't hear what he's saying, I'm sorry. Mate, my friend, honestly, come and have a conversation. But you can't. He said his blood pressure couldn't Of course his blood pressure couldn't. Right, I'll start again. 97% of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere isn't emitted by humans. 3% is emitted by humans. Of that 3%, 1% is emitted from Britain. So you want to basically tax us, ruin our agriculture, build loads of expensive wind farms and solar farms to reduce global emissions from Britain by 1%. That is insanity. That is complete insanity.
So what's the purpose of being here today?
To have these conversations. And I've told you loads of things you didn't already know. I've taught you what capitalism is, as an economics student.
Well, come on. But you didn't...
So I joke.
Have you heard of Mises?
What you got to say for yourself then? Let's hear it.
Depends. What are you asking me, specifically on this sign?
Well, yeah, just everything.
Big question.
Why you want people to talk to you more than anything?
Oh, that's a great question. So I feel like if we can't, especially as young people...
Have discourse,
then that's very problematic. I think if we resort to shouting over each other, being aggressive or violent, I think that without conversations, that breeds violence, that breeds
100%.
problems.
No, I agree. We should be able to talk about this constructively.
Definitely.
But do you feel like doing this is like shoving your opinion in other people's faces where that might be offensive towards them?
If that offends them, that's not my problem, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but...
I get things... I've had people spit on me.
That's different to talking to people, isn't it? Because if you went up to a trans person or someone, you actually
I did that today, all day.
Yeah, but you're not doing that now. And
I did that today with this sign.
Yeah, but you actually wanted to understand how they felt and what is going through their heads.
I did.
You wouldn't be sat here with a big sign acting like, oh, you're an advocate for free speech, and anyone else that says, oh, you stood here with a sign, is like not meaning to take part in a conversation.
I'm not saying that. I spent half an hour today talking to a trans individual who completely disagreed with me, and we had half an hour of polite discourse. And I listed their entire life story, and I handed over my feedback.
What's the point of the sign then?
To have conversations.
But you just said you had a conversation with a trans person. Then why isn't that enough?
Because it didn't convince me. I'm not convinced. I thought they were mentally ill. They did not convince me. They did not win me over.
Why do they have to win you over?
They don't have to. They chose to come and speak to me. They don't have to do anything. I didn't force them. They wanted to, and they were a good person, and I thought it was a great conversation.
Yeah, so you really think that you have to stand here with a sign for people to come talk to you, and no one's willing to have that discussion
Well,
with
I don't
you?
think it's not black or white. I could stand here with a sign. I could not. I could go and speak to people. I do lots of different things. You don't know what I do.
Genuinely, I want to understand your thinking.
Well, it's not just this sign. I mean, I've got bloody loads. If I had a different, I've got some.
I'm not here to like hate you or anything like
That's
that.
fine.
I just genuinely want to know why you think you have to have a sign and have this like.
Because
whole thing.
this ideology, if you want to talk about how it's been imposed, you think I may be imposing on. I didn't say you are saying this, but maybe I'm imposing on people or offending people, as you said. Do you know what upsets me and offends me? It doesn't literally, but by the equivalent, is the fact that when I say this, I get strong-armed and kicked out of university. I am unemployable. I get told I'm a bad person, a fascist and a Nazi.
Okay, but then what you
That sounds pretty problematic.
You want to talk to people about the ability to have discourse, but rather than actually...
I do that too.
Yeah, but you're not framing it right now as just, oh, let's have a discussion about all sorts of issues, because there's more issues than just this.
My friend, I appreciate this is the only banner you're seeing, but I got loads and I've had loads of conversations
today.
today.
You just know that the thing that's going to aggravate people and make them talk to you and give you your content, like I see you're filming, this is all just engagement. It's engagement.
You don't know
farming.
what I do or who I am.
No, it is. And
do you know who I am?
No, I have no clue.
Then don't make that assumption. That's a pretty strong move. You don't know what I've done.
Come on, everybody, say it with me. Trans rights are human rights.
Trans rights are human rights.
Woo!
Cool.
No, because if you just wanted to talk about open discourse and you not being censored, you wouldn't have to have a sign like that. No, you would have a sign saying, let's have free speech, let's have discourse.
I've got that too. Pretty much, not exactly that, but I have still got that.
No, you just want to drag people in to make yourself... No, because you want to force us into a corner where it seems like we're suppressing your free speech. That's what you want.
I know, all I want is you have a conversation like we're doing now. You're not suppressing anything, I don't care.
No, but that's what you're agitating with this sign.
I really don't. You don't know who I am, you don't know what I do, and I wouldn't make that assumption. I've been doing this since I was 15, 16 years of age. I have been attacked on multiple occasions, not just specifically for this, from multiple of other angles. I have campaigned more than any Generation Z for freedom, discourse and conversations, and I have been made more of a success in that than anybody else in our generation.
Wow, yeah. So
that means something, actually.
Let me just break down what you've done. Here, you're elevating yourself above everyone else. You're
not elevating.
No, you are.
I'm just saying.
No, you're portraying yourself as some victim and some advocate of free speech.
I'm not a victim.
No, you are though. You're saying, oh, I'm the only person.
Trans people are saying they're victims. Actually, it's quite the inverse.
Oh, so now you're generalising and saying there's one
Is there anything I say that's going to be correct in your opinion?
Well, it's not that. I'm just responding to what you're saying directly now, and you've just generalised saying trans people are saying this, as if there's some alienated...
There's a lot of victim
but you're excluding them as like an alienated group, saying they all think this, they all say this.
All right, let's not say
and
all
you're targeting them as a group.
I don't mind. All
and
right.
that's not the same as just having discourse, is it?
I would say
no, it's
huge
not
amount. Do you want me to respond?
Yeah, but wait.
Okay.
And because you're targeting them as a group. If you wanted discourse, it wouldn't be them versus me. It would be a constructive conversation. But you're not doing that.
I'll respond. I will frame it in a more nuanced fashion for you.
Go on.
The LGBT. Actually, I'm not going to say LGBT. Just the T plus of everything movement. Okay. Tends to carry with it, this is a generalisation, but this is in my experience, and I've done this a lot, a victim culture mentality. Now, the person I met earlier actually didn't show me that, and I had a really good conversation with them.
Again,
so it is a generalisation.
You are just generalising.
You're generalising me. You're
How?
saying...
How? What did I do that generalised?
The generalisation of me is you've made an assumption that my only ambition here is to go and rage bait and get clicks. That's a complete assumption and generalisation.
Well, no, but from
you have no idea who I am.
From this sign, that's the vibe it's given. Maybe that's not. Maybe I shouldn't assume that.
You should.
But what I can tell from what you're actually saying is you are generalising a group and saying that these people, because of their identity, have this victim complex, have this mental illness. You're not looking at them as individuals. You're not talking to them as individuals.
I have today. I've done it many times.
You just said it to me just then.
Yes, because I have done this so many times, and I am telling you, it's very rare. Today was an example of those rare occasions where I will find somebody who argues for the T plus case and are not coming at it from a victim culture. So it's very easy to generalise them when I've done this with hundreds, possibly thousands of people. That's a pretty good sample size, wouldn't you say? I've been to trans rallies, I've been to pride rallies, I've been to them all, I've been nicked for having this opinion, I've been put in a cell, I've been banned from the centre of London, Westminster, where I can't enter. I've been told I have to live and sleep at my home address for having this opinion. It's insanity.
But is it because you have the opinion, or is it the way you're conveying it?
That's a whole different conversation.
No, it's not though.
It's a whole... Because I won't lie.
Because I don't know
refuse
the
to
way
lie.
you've been conveying it, but you're literally saying that just because of your own opinion is why you've been treated that way. When I would completely disagree. I don't know you. I don't know what things you said.
Enough, yeah.
But I would generally think that probably the way you've been treated isn't because it is the opinion you have. It's the way you're putting it out there, the way you're sharing it, and the way,
is that right,
like
though?
you just
Regardless.
said, like that big bold text, that equals mental illness.
It does equal a mental illness.
It is purely confrontational. It's purely trying
It's
to get
the
that
truth.
rise and response
Why can't
out
I
of
won't
people.
lie. Have you ever read George Orwell 1984?
Yeah, of course.
Right, great book. And what it demonstrates is, as soon as we allow our governments and authority to impose lies upon the British public, or not or the world in general, then what happens is we go down a slippery slope of censorship, authoritarianism, and a complete dystopia. I will not lie. If you say to me right now, okay, that you are an elephant, I'm sorry, mate, I'm not going to call you an elephant. And if someone tells me I have to call you an elephant, I will die on that sword, and I will never call you an elephant.
No, but that's fine. You can say whatever you want, and you can say it to whomever you want. That is completely fine. No one's saying that.
Okay.
But all they're asking of you is to not try and enforce something with a negative tone and
like they've
disposition
enforced
onto
this,
other people.
like the Black
because what
Rock-
you're saying and what your sign says are two completely different things. That's
Okay.
what I don't understand. And I want to ask you, right?
Great,
Is
okay.
here it says illness, right,
Okay.
with a negative connotation
What
attached
would
to
you
it.
call it then?
But the thing you're saying that your problem isn't about the condition itself having a negative connotation. It's about them asking you to call them something else. They're two different
Well,
things.
no, it's multiple. That's one
they're
factor.
two
There's
completely
loads of other
different
things.
things.
There's loads of other things too. It's not
Because
just
you
that.
you can choose not to call that person that pronoun or even treat them however you want, right? But then going out with a big sign, putting it in everyone's face, saying it's an
Do you know what's in
illness,
everyone's face?
That is
This
confrontational.
institution, all of the government institutions, the education system, the private sector has been captured by a cult of people who want to deny reality. So I would say that's rubbing it in my face, mate. I would say me being strong-armed out of uni and told basically I can't go to the institution unless I follow these guidelines and refuse to adhere to the pronoun crap. That, my friend, is pushing it in my face. So why have you got more privilege, if you want to use that word, because people love that word, than I do? Why is that? Because I refuse to deny reality.
No, because you should take a pragmatic approach. If you've taken a bad approach and not been able to have constructive discourse, and you've failed to achieve your aims, and institutions, because of the way you have conveyed your message, to me it just sounds like you've been really bad at trying to do what you want to do.
What does 2 plus 2 equal? 4 or 5?
4.
Right, well done. You, my friend, it equals 5. You must admit that, or you're going to go and I'm going to arrest you.
Yeah, but even that, you're just doing a really bad job at convincing anyone that
No, I've
equals
asked you the
5,
question.
aren't you?
So what is being trans?
Yeah,
How is that a straw man?
isn't
What
it?
is it then? What is it? What is being trans? What is it? Tell me what the definition. What if it's not mental illness? What is it?
So you have to categorise.
Just answer the question.
No, you
answer the question. If it's not a mental illness, what is it?
It's an identity, and you are trying to categorise and reduce.
I want to cut off my leg.
Stop cutting me off.
I want to
You
cut
asked-
off my leg.
No, you asked me
Why
to
not?
answer your question. Do you want me to answer it or not?
Forgive me. Carry on. Sorry.
There you go. You are trying to reduce someone's identity to a categorisation that you want to be able to label as an illness. People are clearly much more complex and diverse than that, and have interesting and amazing lives outside of your little boxes you want to narrow them and put them into. And I'll leave it at that. You are trying to push and shoehorn people into little terms and labels just so it can fit your understanding of the world and of discourse, and you are acting like the victim because other people aren't using those labels and terms you are, mate.
Really
It's
like
fucking
that.
disgusting, and you need to grow up.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Fair play. Still haven't answered my question, but congratulations. Well done. So what is trans? Is it a mental illness or not? No one can give me a qualified answer. Absolutely nobody. And nobody's going to try. Because no one's got an answer. Exactly.
Not even close to being one.
If I want to cut my leg off, I'm mentally ill. If I identify as having one leg, I am mentally ill. I think most people agree with that.
Have a nice day.
I don't care. See, see what I'm up against. You get to have your culture of a pack-like mentality where you all buy into the same ideology. I turn around and say I don't want that. I get mocked. I get attacked. Now I don't care. I don't. Why does it affect me?
Your other package reform UK, bro.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Can I reiterate that? Apparently, this is my good friend, cameraman, and also reality speaker, I could say. The majority of people that have come out of this university have come up and whispered in his ear that they agree with me. People don't have the balls to say it.
Why do you care? Do you know how many people
What do you mean, why do I care?
Why do you care
Because I don't. What I care. Sorry, what's your question?
Why do you care about trans people?
Why do I care about trans people?
Why do you care what gender they are?
I don't. I don't.
Well, then what's your point?
Because I don't like them invading women's spaces.
They're not.
Are they?
You're a trans person that personally victimised you. They attacked you because you were the wrong gender.
Well, I'm what? I'm not. I'm a man. What?
Sorry, I thought you were a woman.
Well, then you're an idiot. I don't you want me to say you're an idiot.
What gender do you think I am?
You're a feminist if you're so worried
Oh, what?
about
Sorry.
Are you also a feminist if you're worried about women's health and safety, women's spaces?
Well, that's a very complex question to answer. So if you're coming at it from a suffragette angle, I don't support the suffragettes. The suffragettes were terrorists. But
Women should have the right to vote.
do I think women should have the right to vote? I actually have. There's a difference between a suffragette and a suffragist. Do you understand that they led the first ever bombing campaign in England?
Didn't kill anyone.
Oh, that's all right then, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just bomb the streets, and it doesn't matter. Let's bomb churches.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
What?
You're okay with trans kids not getting the healthcare that they
I don't
deserve.
think that you. I don't think trans kids can consent to. I don't think if you're a child, you can consent to puberty blockers. No. Oh, can you consent to sex or buying cigarettes or getting a tattoo or buying alcohol?
I think you like kids. I think you would like that.
Runs away. Very, very cool.
So what would women have had to do for you, in your eyes, to grant them the right to vote? Because they asked for it and they weren't given it, so what were they supposed to do?
The suffragists were the ones that actually, through peaceful manners, through working through political channels, were the ones that actually got the right to vote. The idea that the suffragettes went around bombing St Paul's Cathedral, I'm not happy with that. The IRA took inspiration from the fact that the media whipped up the idea that the suffragettes won, meaning the IRA thought it's a great success. Let's go around bombing more pubs. Let's go and kill people. So people did actually die eventually as a result of the suffragettes. And the fact that this gentleman here wants to say that he's okay with people bombing places but not killing anyone just tells you the kind of intellect we're dealing with here. That's insanity. You're on my phone, haven't you? Just for protection. Yes, believe it or not, these people. I don't know about these people.
We've already had a bunch of people being aggressive today.
Love it. I'm f***ing freezing. That's why I'm shaking. Oh yeah. So this is interesting. So currently, I'm doing demonstrations about how trans equals mental illness, and they have brought their flags that represent mental illness, I suppose. Abortion is healthcare. Interesting. What else have we got?
What do you think about the time frame in which they've done this? Because it's pretty impressive.
It was pretty impressive. I mean, they managed to get words to the right people very, very quickly. I mean, they can't debate, but they can hold placard. No one's managed to tell me why it's not a mental illness yet.
But why do you think it is? Why do you think it is? Yeah.
In the same way, if I turn around and say, as I said earlier, in the same way, if I turn around to you right now and said, I want to chop my right leg off because I identify as having one leg, I'd expect you not to say, that's a great idea, or if I wanted to bleach my eyes because I thought I was blind. Or in the same way, if I was
but you see,
anorexic, I would expect you to tell me to eat.
What was the answer? Are you trying to convince people? You want the debate? What's the
With this? Well, this is just one banner.
Unpack it up, mate.
Just dead quick. What are you? Just get my camera to make sure. Just dead quick. Yeah, exactly. Well, can you make sure you
We basically had a call, obviously, in relation to what's going on here. They're basically reporting that they're feeling offended by...
Is that a crime?
Well, technically, yeah, it can be a public order offence. They're saying that you've had flags that said something along the lines of transgender causes mental illness, okay?
Transgender is mental illness, yeah.
Okay, that's your opinion. They're saying that they're feeling offended by this, so therefore we're going to have to record what's called a public order section 5, and under that we are going to have to seize the flags, and an investigation may go underway in relation to that. Someone may be in contact with you in relation to that.
That's not reasonable.
It's reasonable because free speech. Well, that's your opinion. You're completely entitled to our freedom of speech. However, if they're saying they're offended by what you're saying and showing in relation to giving them harassment, harm, or distress, that's an offence in
not
itself.
A credible report. You have to determine whether it's credible and in the public interest.
That's fine. It is a credible report, so we are going to have to seize your
That's not
flags.
a credible report.
Okay, well, that's your opinion, and an investigation may go underway without you.
That's completely unreasonable.
So I'm going to verify who you are. I'm going to take the flags.
This is not reasonable and this isn't lawful.
Well, that's your opinion.
Well, I mean, that's facts. We're speaking to a lawyer. Just give us a second. Solicitors are lawyers.
Yeah, well, lawyers are American.
Both barristers and solicitors are lawyers.
Whereabouts have you come from?
Where do you think I come from?
We've had a call to basically say that you're offending them, so we have to take action upon that.
So it's 1281, right? And where's your sergeant so we can speak to the sergeant?
He's not available. He's agreed with me that this is the action that we're going to take. What's going to happen is we have grounds for an arrest, but that's not what we're looking to do here.
Okay.
So long as everything goes well.
Yeah. We were just in Manchester with the same thing.
You're asking me questions and I can't answer. What's going to happen is we're going to record a public order offence in our systems, and that's going to be sent off to our investigations team. We're going to make an assessment based upon that of what we want to do next.
Okay.
We haven't spoken to the other people here yet as to what they want to do.
Okay.
So that can be something they can report. If they want to report it, they're entitled to do that.
God, it's so exhausting.
This is Section 5 public court.
It is. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying
what power are
I'm
you using? I'm a former police officer myself.
Oh, fair enough.
So what power are you using to seize it?
So we're seizing it on the Section 19 of page because it's in relation to this offence specifically. Because the report that we've had on the log is that those words said on that sign are causing harassment, harm, and distress, which is the offence of Section 5 public order. So that's what we're going to be doing.
So you were saying you could arrest. Do you have grounds for an arrest?
We do have grounds for an arrest.
What are your necessary?
So we'll prompt and effect investigation. No, you only need one.
You need two for it.
No, you don't. You only need one. People say you need two. You only need one. Custody you prefer to, but you only need one.
So you have grounds for an arrest. You're not going to arrest.
Yeah, I'm not going to arrest because I don't deem it too necessary to do right now because we have another option of you leaving. That's simple as. Do you know to the police at all?
Yeah, I'm going to be on record for the same offence.
Okay. You know to Merseyside Police? Have you had any dealings?
No, I've never been to. I've been to Liverpool once at the time of my life.
What's your name? Sorry, sir.
My name is Montgomery Toms. MONT.
Yeah.
GOM.
Yeah.
ERY.
Yeah.
Toms. I do not actually think this is correct. I do not think this is right. I do not think you actually do have the power to do this. I do not agree with it. I do not think it's correct. I do not think it's right.
Your colleague's got my collar number, so if you want to make a complaint or anything,
that's fine. I will. I'll go to my solicitors, and I will also think it's an abuse of power and more of this two-tier nonsense, and I'm utterly sick of it. But yeah, this might take a little while.
That's fine. If you show them, they're in relation
There's only one.
What the report.
Wait, what is it on top? It's not that one. Britain needs mass deportations. You're not going to go seize all my banners, are you?
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to.
What? Every banner?
Okay.
It's quite funny to me you think you're the one being oppressed right now.
Mate, whoa. Now they're seizing every banner because they think this one's offensive too.
You can't do this. This is not lawful. Where's your sergeant?
I've contacted him and he's advised me to do exactly that.
Or could we speak to your sergeant?
Yeah, please.
We're happy to.
He's busy. He's genuinely going to another job. I did ask him.
This is insane. This is how much this is cost me.
Like, at the end of the day, if it gets no further action,
No. What you're doing is you're shutting down free speech. This is illegal. This is a political action.
Can you just show me all the signs and
no
potentially?
Mate, this is outrageous. Give me the mic. Right, currently, because I have an opinion that trans equals mental illness, this gentleman here is going to go through all of my signs, seize them all, and then I'm basically placed under investigation for public order for having public discourse. This is Britain in 2026. This is insanity. This is insanity. Mate, this is madness.
You're not the one being oppressed right now, man. You're really not.
You think this is right?
I'm just going to
search you.
Are you joking?
Section 1. No, I am. So, okay.
Lawyer?
I'm sorry, I've got to contact my solicitor.
Hold on a moment. No, I am detaining you for the purpose
Oh my
of
God.
a search. Just put your phone up. Can I just take that from you, please? Can I
not
just
yours.
take... No, it's not yours. Can you give me the phone, please?
Give me
It's
the
not
phone.
yours. It's
Give
not
me the
yours. I'll
phone.
give it back to him, because it's his
Can you
property.
just take the camera somewhere else?
No, I don't think I will.
For the set. Can you just take that? Yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh. And you realise why we have a fight on our hands in this country.
No, I define myself as white and British. How would you define yourself?
I define myself as British.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, English.
English. Okay. I'm Constable Caswell. I'm based at St Anne's Police Station.
Yeah, this is not helping the cause. You're giving him exactly what he wants. He wants to feel oppressed.
I just feel like we're meant to be in Britain. I'm having debates about literally something that is a clinical definition, and yet again, I'm being searched and potentially arrested by the police.
Can
You think that what you're doing is neutral, but it's quite hateful, really.
Section 1 of page 6, not in section 32.
You understand
Section 1
why
is stopping him.
I understand
in relation to an offence, so you need to get them to tell him go wisely, which is the acronym to use.
Got anything on you that might...
Yeah, that's part of the search. If they don't give that,
Let them fuck up.
Yeah, great. This is England 2026, eh? Shame on you guys. We need restore. We need Rupert Lowe as Prime Minister of our country
Do me a favour.
to end this two-tier madness. This is an outrageous authoritarian attack and a humiliation ritual that is necessary for you to go through because I state a clinical definition. Utterly insane. This is what we've got to do, young people. We need young people rising up and down the country.
We are going to seize the...
Completely object, of course.
It's disgusting.
Have I not already given them? You sure? I just gave them.
Not on... No.
You sure?
I gave them to my colleague, but we didn't give them to this one. So just repeat.
Well, so is he compelled to give his details 50 times over?
Can you inform me then of what I've done, just transparently, so I know exactly what it is you are now alleging I have committed, please?
Can I just get your name, your details first?
Before I hand that over, I
No.
feel comfortable knowing.
Please, you can just give me your details.
Your banners have been seized.
Yeah.
We're going to ask now, very politely, once my colleagues verified who you are, that you're going to be
I've got to
leaving.
get my car, otherwise I'm going to get
No, that's fine.
ticket.
That's
Can I
great.
just- okay, what's your name?
But if you do return, you're going to be at risk of getting
Montgomery
yourself
Toms.
arrested. To prevent a
risk?
breach. Yeah,
What
to,
is that?
To prevent a breach of the peace.
Tom's
On what law?
TOMS.
Under the law.
What law? What specific act? Give me the
You don't know,
statute. Give
do
me the
you?
common law.
Yeah, a
power.
breach, so a breach of the peace is whereby harm is actually or likely to be done to a person. So if you return, I have the honest held belief that something here is going to happen because of your presence and because of what's happened today. So therefore, I'm requesting that you leave, and if you do return, you are at risk of getting yourself arrested. Does that make sense?
So that's an implied threat to arrest us. That's an implied threat. Well, we said we're going to head off anyway.
Well, I'll put that in my car.
This is theft.
No, I'm not here being violent. I've not hurt anyone. I'm here purely trying to have peaceful, calm debates.
How's the debate's been today?
Debates have been incredible, actually. I've been made to think a lot. I've even struggled on some of the answers, and I also have walked it a breeze because to me it's just basic reality when it comes to gender. But when it comes to things like dealing with the indoctrination, systemic indoctrination that was within the education system.
Do me a favour, finish us up by your car.
Well, can we go or not?
Yeah, free to go.
And you are free to go.
Okay. I'm just waiting for you. I'll take myself.
How do you live with yourself doing this job, taking away people's free speech? Do you think what you're doing is right?
I'm not
Ethical?
making any comments. I'm not making any comments.
You've made comment on the banners.
We've seized. Yeah, we have.
You've stolen them
banners.
illegally.
Stolen my
Seized.
property.
Illegal contact. Okay, let me just get badge number.
Yeah, can we get badge numbers, please?
Yeah,
of course.
8124, mate.
Beautiful. And we got your one before. Double.
8763.
Double. Right. Okay. They're not banning us from doing anything. Like, we're Englishmen, this is England, and we have the right to act freely so long as we're not harming anyone else.
Could you argue that you're harming somebody?
By having
Could you not
public
argue?
debate.
No, if I hurt your feelings, you'd feel hurt. You don't think that is harmful to harm them?
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, but you should care about people's feelings.
Well, it is, yeah.
No. But you should care about people's feelings.
I do care about people's feelings.
But no, you don't. You don't care about the people's feelings whose rights you're trying to encroach on.
Feel free to educate. I'm not going to tell you where I live, am I?
This whole culture war.
He used to live in his car for a bit.
Yeah, been homeless because of this. It's lovely. It's because of this. Yep.
Because of this.
Because I was strong-armed out of university and I was told that I had to leave, and because of that, I didn't have anywhere to go.
I'm really sorry that happened to you, but don't you think sometimes the culture war distracts from like the class war? You know, we should be uniting as a working class to unite, but what you're doing is creating division.
Are you compelling me?
I'm so sorry that happened.
No, I'm telling you, I need your details because you're
know what I did?
involved in what's going on today, potentially involved in the offence. So if you don't, then you risk it yourself.
So that's another implied threat.
It's not
Violence.
It's not a threat.
It is.
Arrest doesn't imply threat.
It is an implied threat by the English language.
To arrest you.
That's all I did. That was enough.
What's your name, sorry?
Well, if I choose to walk off,
I will arrest you.
Why do you feel such a
so yes, that is a threat. That's explicit. William.
William. Yep.
Coleshill, COLESHILL.
And your date of birth, please. 99.
Address himself as whatever he wants. It's fine. But if you're going to tell me that you have a penis and you're a woman, I'm afraid, mate, you're a man. Why am I feel harassed? Shall I do that? Like, this is just mental. I feel alarm, harassment, and distress. I'm really hurt. Boo-hoo! Please arrest them all.
What's your view on intersex people out of curiosity? Just
I'm
before we
harassed.
leave.
Yeah. What, sorry?
Can you not shout it, please?
No, I'm just speaking to you.
No,
that's fine.
I think this is gratuitous now.
You can speak in public. I'm allowed to speak in public.
You're going to shout out my details in public. Like, under GDPR, you shouldn't be...
He's clearly come here to
Have you got the...
At what point are you going to stop recording?
Oh, when for safety. This is safety.
Safety.
Well, we're ensuring that everyone's safe.
Are your body cams on?
My body camera's on.
Why aren't they flashing? Why is that flashing green? Usually it's red for record.
Because believe it or not, we get assaulted, attacked, spat on all the time, but they don't get arrested, but we do. Just to let you know. Just to let you know that's how it works.
I'm sure if I hit you, I would have been arrested.
Pardon?
I'm sure if I hit you, I would have been arrested.
Oh, you think so? I can't even go there.
Oh, that's great.
I'm not going to hit forever.
That's a great one.
He was headlocked, punched, beaten the crap out of. He was arrested. The guy that did it wasn't. So you're off. Up here. Yeah.
So, see you later.
You're happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. You're happy.
Completely two-tier, unlawful, disgusting.
Currently, we're being forced to leave Liverpool University. We have been threatened with arrest, Public Order Act, all of that nonsense. Potentially, later on down the line, the police could come further forward and they could say to me, okay, well, you're no longer allowed to partake in this activity of debating college students. I was turning around and having about 2 hours of 100% peaceful, calm, rational debates around trans argument, around migration, around net zero climate change, all the usual topics which are absolutely paramount that need to be discussed. What has happened? The police have been called. I've been told that I am offensive. They've they've stolen all of my banners that have just been printed, that, by the way, you amazing people that have backed and supported Freedom Watch funded. They've now been stolen by the police. I'm basically being placed under. I've been placed under investigation. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. I'm going to be placed under investigation. Who knows? Could get a knock at the door from the plod anytime soon. They've basically shut down debate. I can't claim alarm, harassment, distress, or being offended. More of this two-tier nonsense. Welcome to Britain 2026. We've got to stop this. We've got to get a grip on our country. Britain needs restore. We need to get Rupert in. I just can't see this being fixed without restore. We need to fix our country. Forgive me for not being so articulate, but I'm so frustrated with going up and down the country wanting to debate with university students about totally standard, normal things, being threatened with arrest, being beaten, being punched, having my freedom of speech, freedom of expression completely locked down. This is disgusting, this is outrageous. Fortunately, this time we've not been nicked. All my banners have been stolen, all from having calm conversations. This is England 2026, I don't know what more to say. Guys, please get behind Freedom Watch, because we need your support, we need your help to carry on pushing back against this just systemic authoritarian attack on free speech, the British public and the youth. They are terrified.
inspiring a whole generation of thinkers to push back against their warped, screwed up, authoritarian, dystopian, Orwellian mindset. And we need to do everything in our power, whether that be legally, whether that be through grassroots work, social media, whatever, to fight for truth, debate, reality and freedom. Become a member of Freedom Watch GB today. I need your support. We need your support. We need to build a movement which is going to take back our youth. Because if we don't, we're going to head down a very, very dark path. Get behind Restore Britain, get behind Freedom Watch, and let's take our country back.